Hi there. I'm going to show you today how to make a picture frame box, basically. Now, I've already done the majority of the cutting. The box is going to be 11 by 14 inches. These are 14-inch rails. These are 10.5. And as you can probably see there, I've cut rabbets into them so that they fit together like so, which triples your gluing surface and allows you to have a much tighter, stronger bond. Once I glue them up, then I'm going to use a nail gun here to just put a couple of pin nails into it to hold them in place so I don't have to clamp them. And also make a stronger bond there as well. Now, for the gluing on the surface here, you want to spread the glue evenly into a fairly thin layer. So you just go ahead and you put down a little bit of glue. And then you're going to use a throwaway brush, or I like to use Q-tips, and just spread that evenly across the surface so you're not going to have a ton of overflow. Overflow can easily be wiped off with just a wet cloth though. And then again, on the second surface, you want to make sure you have glue everywhere. Otherwise you end up with gaps in your ceiling, which make for a weak joint. And I believe if you're going to make something, make it right. So we place our joint together like this, hold it fairly tight, and I'm just going to put a quick little brad in here, and again from the other side I'm going to hit with a couple of them, going, here we go, boom, and boom. And now you see this makes a nice solid joint that I don't have to worry about holding while I'm finishing up the rest of it. Let's do the rest of these joints. We just continue on with the same gluing. And as long as you don't leave your Q-tip hanging too long or your brush hanging too long outside of the glue, it won't dry up on you and you'll be able to keep using the same one. Save yourself a little money there. I know they're not much, but you know, when you're a retired person like myself, or if you're a young person or whatever and you have a limited budget, you know what I'm saying. We just glue that up. Hold that in there nice and tight and give it a nail. And then from the top, give it a couple. And then we have one more joint to go. And since this last one is going to go together with both faces at the same time, we're going to glue up both faces at the same time to make sure they're ready. Otherwise, you're going to be struggling to try to get glue on there. You got to think about your work as you do it, otherwise you make mistakes. My dad taught me the old carpenter's adage of measure twice, cut once. It's a very important thing when you're working and you're trying to go for something that is good and solid and well built, because if you screw up on your cut or on your putting it together, you end up with having to start over. You waste a lot of time, energy, and money. And well, I don't care for wasting time and energy, but I really don't care for wasting money. You can ask my kids, I'm a cheap man. When I buy quality, I buy quality. I believe in paying for quality. But I do not like to buy it again because I screwed up, or buying again because I bought cheap materials to begin with. So now we've got the outer frame done. This is going to be mounted onto one of these 11 by 14 sheets of MDF that I cut on my table saw. Again, we're going to glue the seal, or the edges, I mean. And just run a nice little bead of glue along all of the edges. And then using your Q-tip, just kind of spread that a little bit. Where you're getting that nice even layer of glue all the way around. All right, one more side here. There we go. And this is going to be set onto here. Now you want to pick which side you want facing. I want this side because it's the cleanest and it doesn't have this stamp on the wood there that I'm going to have to cover with paint. So I'm going to set this right in, square it up, nice and even, and then we're going to again throw in a couple of nails in order to keep it solid. And when you're using your pin nailer, you want to make sure you're hitting the board and not missing it and going inside through the surface here. Now this is all set up and ready to go. You can put it onto your belt sander or sand it by hand, clean up all the edges, make sure you're nice and even wherever you need to, and it's ready for paint. Thanks for joining me.